Ozzy Osbourne finished Last Rites just days before his death. Here's what he wrote. Rock legend Ozzy Osbourne left behind more than memories of electrifying concerts and wild antics. He also left the world with his final words on paper. Just days before his death, the Black Sabbath frontman completed Last Rites, a memoir that offers a raw, unflinching look at his life, his struggles, and the love that sustained him until the end. The book covers familiar ground: Osbourne's childhood in Birmingham, England, his rise as the lead singer of Black Sabbath, and his evolution as a solo artist. It also recounts his enduring love story with Sharon Osbourne, his manager and wife of 43 years, and the family life they built together. But what sets Last Rites apart is the painful honesty with which Osbourne details the final chapters of his journey, including the devastating health crises that ultimately forced him to retire from touring. A body breaking down. In his final pages, Osbourne describes a cruel twist of fate, an ordinary stumble that triggered years of debilitating health battles. After misjudging the distance to his bed one night, he cracked his head on the floor and injured his spine, the beginning of a spiral that led to multiple spinal surgeries, staph infections, pneumonia, blood clots, and sepsis. I felt like my body was betraying me, he wrote, admitting that with every new surgery, his hope of ever performing again faded. By 2021, facing yet another corrective procedure to repair his disintegrating vertebrae, he confessed that my dream of getting back on stage was slipping away day by day. Love, family, and music. Despite the relentless physical suffering, Osbourne never lost sight of what mattered most. Throughout Last Rites, he expresses deep devotion to Sharon, their children, and the music that, in his words, kept me alive when nothing else could. He even recalls with characteristic wit and candor some of the most pivotal moments of his career. One striking memory involves watching a then-unknown Eddie Van Halen open for Sabbath in the 1970s. Eddie is under the spotlight, his hands in places on the fretboard that shouldn't be possible, his fingers seeming to move faster than the speed of light, Osbourne recalled. In that instant, he realized heavy metal was evolving, and Sabbath risked being left behind. The bitterness of fame. Not all of Osbourne's recollections are sentimental. He criticized how certain documentaries about Black Sabbath sugar-coated the truth, glossing over the rivalries and egos that often fuel the band's chaos. Seriously, out of 60 hours of footage, they couldn't find a single argument? If one of us had brought his girlfriend into the studio, there would have been blood on the floor, he joked. That so-called fly-on-the-wall must have been deaf and blind, because it missed everything worth seeing. A final farewell that almost wasn't. In early 2023, Sharon Osbourne organized what was meant to be Ozzy's last great send-off, a farewell concert in England featuring a reunion with Black Sabbath and tributes from Metallica, Steven Tyler, Tom Morello, and more. But 2 months before the planned event, Ozzy's health collapsed once again. He faced more spinal problems, endured another surgery where doctors attempted to fill the cracks in my dodgy vertebra with human cement, and battled yet another round of pneumonia and sepsis. His condition left him too weak to take the stage. By late May, Sharon and Ozzy packed up their Los Angeles home. Sharon even insisted they take most of their valuable possessions with them to England, fearing that news of their departure would invite burglars. It was the last journey the Prince of Darkness would make. The legacy of the Prince of Darkness. Though Ozzy Osbourne never got the final on-stage farewell he longed for, he leaves behind something even more powerful, a voice immortalized in both music and words. Last Rites captures the grit, humor, heartbreak, and love of a man who changed the face of rock forever, and who never stopped fighting until his very last days. As he wrote of his wife Sharon in one of the book's most touching passages, "She saved me more times than I can count. When I'm gone, I want to be buried next to her. That's the only encore I'll ever need."